Have you ever pondered the multitude of processes made possible because of the central nervous system? We'll give you a better understanding of the complexities of the nervous system here, as we step through some of its major parts. The nervous system controls all the actions that a person takes during his daily life. Some of them are conscious movements, such as running, catching, jumping. Others, such as heart rate and breathing, are not conscious. The human body uses many different sensory mechanisms, such as touch, sight, and sound. Different parts of the brain are working at the same time to then communicate the needed directions to do an action. You may never realize quite how important your nervous system is until it gets damaged. When a person blacks out, it is often caused because there's damage to the brain, the main control center of your nervous system. Let's give you a better idea of how the nervous system works by examining each piece in this complex puzzle. The neuron. The building blocks of the nervous system are our neurons. Our nerves run through our body and help us interpret the outside world via thousands of neurons. These neurons connect end to end and transmit messages throughout the body. This message relay system is made possible via small electrical pulses that travel down the length of the cell. When it reaches a new cell, chemicals called neurotransmitters take over. At the synaptic cleft, or the junction between neurons, the message is transferred as packages full of neurotransmitters are released into the cleft. These neurotransmitters then bind to receptors on the new neuron. This binding action helps open ion channels. These channels let ions move in or out of the neuron, starting a new electrical. After we talked about the structural unit of the nervous system, we will go through the anatomical division of the nervous system, where it is divided into the central nervous system, which consists of the brain and spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. All our nerves are part of either the peripheral nervous system or the central nervous system. Most scientists classify the brain, spinal column, and the nerves associated with these masses of ganglia as part of the central nervous system. That leaves the peripheral nerves that control muscles and our senses. These nerves make up the peripheral nervous system. The two major divisions of this system are the sensory division, nerves sending impulses from sensory organs, and the motor division, nerves controlling muscles. Motor division. It's fairly easy to visualize nerves sending impulses to our muscles when we tell them to move. We move our fingers to type on the computer, and we control where we walk. Yet, there are lots of muscles that aren't sent impulses without us even thinking about it. Muscles in our stomach move without even knowing it. The motor division of the peripheral system also sends impulses to glands. We divided up the motor division into two classes: the autonomic nervous system, somatic nervous system. The somatic nervous system consists of muscles that are controlled consciously. When we move our skeletal muscles, we do this all consciously. Most of the time, we have full control over our muscles. Only during times of stress might the nervous system take over. When you touch something hot, for instance, it's sometimes hard to stop yourself from pulling away. Your blinking reflex is another example. Try not blinking when you sneeze, for instance. Autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system controls bodily functions that are not under conscious control. The movement of our digestive system would be part of this system. Most of the glands in our body are controlled by our nervous system, yet we never know about it. The autonomic nervous system is further divided up into two more systems: the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Just as a hang glider controls his altitude by pushing or pulling on the bar in front of him, these two systems work to push and pull against each other, and thus maintain homeostasis. The control of heart rate is a classic example. The sympathetic nervous system increases heart rate, and the parasympathetic nervous system decreases it. There are many other examples of how these two systems work in tandem, but the take-home point is that both work together to help maintain equilibrium in the body. Sensory systems. The human body has the ability to sense the environment and respond to it. We can sense chemicals in our food. They give us smells and tastes. Cells in the back of the eye respond to light and help us produce images of the world around us. Cells on the skin respond to pressure and allow us to feel objects. Our ears allow us to detect sound waves and aid in our balance. Each of these systems is complex, but they all work because of mechanisms that send stimuli to our central nervous system. Central nervous system. The central nervous system serves as the processing system for the nerve's impulses received from the peripheral nervous system. All of our sense organs send information to the spinal cord in the brain. Both of these areas are responsible for complex task management. The spinal cord does less processing, but is the root for most of our reflexes, automatic responses to stimuli. The brain, on the other hand, is divided up into many regions, which control different parts of the body. The brain, thinking headquarters. Almost all nerve processing takes place in the major regions of the brain: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and brainstem. Each of these regions controls a different part of the body, but the brain does more than just command the ever-changing body. It also receives senses, interprets them, and links them with emotions, and is responsible for memory, personality, behavior, and complex intellectual processes. The spinal cord. The spinal cord is the main communication link between the brain and the rest of the body. The spinal cord is different from the vertebral column. It resides inside and is protected by the bony vertebral column. Because the spinal cord acts to combine nerves from several regions around the body, damage to the spinal cord can result in loss of communication from the brain to that bodily region. This is often what happens when someone becomes paralyzed.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your family and friends. If you want to see more videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell.